absolutely, I can talk about my Who Am I painting. So this is a series of painting I call the Rainbow Girls, and I made these in 2018, I believe, just as I was figuring out the words to write my book. So the series, I call her Stolen Potential. I call her Who Am I? I call her Whoever the F I Want, and I call her Healed. So this picture, by the way, when I thought I was making it, I was in the beginning of a all natural hair journey, didn't straighten my hair for 6 years, was dealing with having a curly haired child and trying to get a handle on that. I was also subconsciously dealing with not dressing myself for the male gaze and trying to figure out what my identity is. I hadn't even realized that part of it yet. So I think this split personality that came out in the painting is very just crucial to what I was trying to figure out, which was that cults make us have these split personalities. And I had my whole life thought that I needed to try to present myself in one way so that I could be accepted in America, where I'm not from, right? Because I grew up in a cult, withheld from the world, and in other countries. So trying to fit in.
From America because you're from everywhere.
You're right. I'm from everywhere, baby. Trying to fit in, being a teenager when you have absolutely no clue of how to be in the world in the first place can be extremely challenging. And I think it shows the fact that I missed my childhood. I missed my teenagehood. I didn't get to be footloose and fancy free and develop who I was, and I had to be always protected. And one of the things I learned when I was writing Uncultured was I was having to pull off like all of this armor to kind of tell the story, and realizing like maybe I hadn't needed a lot of that in the first place. Very significant to me that they are not wearing clothes, any of the girls. This is, first of all, one of my favorite ways to teach group norms is by telling people, like, when you're on a naked beach, you are the one that feels out of place if you're wearing clothes, not the other way around. But this very real awareness that clothes are armor, right? The way we present ourselves to the world is armor. It is a choice. It is a thing that we are doing. And being naked is a whole different version of honesty. Finally, the colors. I don't really know why I painted them in these rainbow colors. Someone asked me once why I painted depression in neons, and I was like, I don't know. I guess that's the way it shows up for me. But what did turn out is they ended up, because they're not in natural skin colors, they ended up being relatively raceless. And I've had many, for example, Black women say they relate to this double hairstyle, tell me it looks a lot like their child or reminds them of the care that they have to take and the bonding time that they spend doing their children's hair. I think it can talk to so many things. I eventually have come full circle back to my hair's my hair. I can wear it how I want. I can do what I want with it. I can color it how I want. I can dress myself how I want. I can dress myself sexy and enticing. I can dress myself not at all for the male gaze. Like, I am in charge of me. I am whoever the F I want, right? And so I feel like I spent a lot of time in this phase. I now feel like I am finishing this phase and moving on to Healed, which is a very nice place to be in life. This one is still the one that means the most to me. It is by far my favorite of the set, but I think it's just very important for where it is in my life and what it kind of like kickstarted for me. I also had, so while this one here is actually an outline of my child knitting cult baby when she was young, this one here is a kind of composite sketch of me as a teenager, but also this Brazilian teenager, Ashley's, who came to come live with us when she was 16, was an exchange student. She's now 25, I think, on her way to being a surgeon. She'll be graduating next year. We will be in Brazil for that. And it was a very nice healing experience for me to have a teenager who had good parents, who loved and took care of her, who didn't grow up under extremism, who is just being allowed to develop into this person that they were, and we were able to be a little part of that, which was pretty amazing. And it's one of the reasons I also really like this teenager. Like, she doesn't look that sad to me anymore. She looks like someone with a lot of promise. And there you have it. These are my rainbow girls. If anyone is interested, I will tag Who Am I here. You can also get the full set in my shop.